everyone, and welcome back to Natural Beauty by Anna. I'm Anna, and today I'm gonna show you how I made a set of candles using a candle making kit. If you're following me around and you've seen me on any of my other channels that I'm sharing with Rick, namely AR Bucket List, then you might know that making a candle used to be a bucket list goal for me. A goal that I achieved in the summer of 2020 when I completely and somewhat successfully made my very first candle, and the link to that video will be in the description box below if you're curious to see that. And as a result of that, my family thought that it would be nice to give me this gift for my birthday. It's a candle making kit, and I think they thought I needed it because, as I said, I only kind of succeeded in making a candle last time I tried. Also, this video is only the first of a trilogy that I'm gonna be posting on this channel of me trying out different DIY kits, because in addition to this candle making kit, I also received a soap making kit and a bath bomb making kit. So a little bit of a spoiler here, that's what's coming. I think people figured out that I like to DIY all of my stuff in general, so yeah. And I decided to start with the candle making kit because it's the one that I am most familiar with, or at least a little bit familiar with, because I've never made soaps or bath bombs before. These are the candles that I have made, and if you're curious to see how I made them, stick until the end of this video. But before that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. That helps me a lot, thank you so much. And now let's see what's in this kit. First off, I have to say the box looks really nice. The name of the box, Candle Making Kit, is shown on it 3 times, but I see no brand name. And also there is no brand name on any of the papers that are inside the box, I can tell you already. So I thought that was interesting. I think there's also no brand name on Amazon. So it makes me wonder who made this kit. I got no idea. But that doesn't bother me much. Now let's see what's inside. So first we have a step-by-step instruction manual, I guess, pamphlet that we will get back to later. 4 essential oils: peppermint, lavender, tea tree, and sweet orange. Tea tree I thought was a little bit strange to put it in a candle making kit. I don't think that the tea tree scent is that great for a scented candle, but the other 3 are pretty typical scents for aromatherapy things in general and candles. Next, we have a thermometer, because as we'll see, we'll have to be quite precise about the temperature of the wax. We have 6 dyes: red, pink, purple, blue, green, and yellow. We have this little plastic bag which contains wicks, wooden sticks to support the wicks, and double tape to secure the wicks to the bottom of the jars. 4 small clear glass jars. Now I have to specify that they're small. These are pretty small jars, but I actually like that so much because if I'm making candles, I like to be able to switch between the different scents to diversify a little bit. It's just like the little spice of life. Next up, we have some decorative rope, 4 cork caps for the jars, 6 decorative tags, and 8 warning labels. I'm guessing mostly in case you want to sell or gift the candles, but also to take into consideration for your own use. I have read the labels, however I did not put them on the jars just because I didn't want the labels to be there. I've read them, so I know what the warning is. And before we move on, I want to mention that I find it a little bit bizarre that there are 4 jars, 6 decorative tags, and 8 warning labels. It's like the numbers are really mismatched. What am I gonna do with 8 labels if I only have 4 jars? It's very bizarre, and it kind of makes me feel like they put these random numbers of stuff so that you will then have to go and buy more stuff. And finally, we have a measuring and warming cup for the wax, a stirring spoon, and a lot of wax. It seems like quite a lot. We have 3 bags of wax, and I thought that was a lot. Although I realized later on that you use quite a lot of wax even for these really tiny jars, I barely even used half of 1 bag for all 4 little jars and an extra jar that I had that I decided to just make by myself. So that's enough wax in here to make yourself a few good rounds of candles. Next up is the preparation. Because I wanted to have all of the jars prepared for when the wax is ready, I didn't have to like pause and have to attach the wick when the wax is warm and possibly getting cold and hardened. I wanted to prepare all the jars before, so this is how I did it. By following the first 2 steps in the instructions booklet, you guys, I don't know what to call this little piece of paper with instructions on it. I attached the wicks inside the jars. It's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. And then I secured the wicks at the top with the wooden sticks. And now I have 4 jars ready to become candles. So that was the easy part, and now on to the more difficult part, making the candles. So the first step in actually making the candle is to melt the wax, and here the confusion already started to set in because the instructions say to refer to explanation 1 for the measurement method of the soy wax quantity. And the booklet doesn't have any image labeled explanation 1. What it does have is at the very end there is an image that is not labeled as anything that says this jar needs 3.5 ounces or 100 grams of soy wax. So I assume that that's what explanation 1 refers to, and that's what I did. And this is where my first mistake occurred. Since the kit doesn't come with a measuring cup for the wax, I used a cup that I already had. And I used a half a cup measurement since I don't know why, but I approximated that that's what 100 grams should be. However, I realized that half a cup only fills half a jar, so I actually should have used 1 full cup. I fixed it up afterwards by adding another half a cup. No big deal, we keep going. I warmed the wax to anywhere between 140 and 180 degrees Fahrenheit, that is between 60 and 80 degrees Celsius. The wax melts and then the temperature raises pretty fast, but then it also cools down pretty fast, and since I had to keep moving between the kitchen and this room where I was actually filming the video, I had to move really quickly and always keep a close eye on the thermometer and check the temperature of the wax because I wanted to be precise. I wanted to do this right. After the wax reached the desired temperature, I added the dye, and again the instructions here become a little bit confusing because they don't mention how much dye you are supposed to add. All of my candles ended up having very nice pastel-y colors that I'm very happy with, and I didn't have to use a lot of dye. I would say a pinch of dye was enough, or just about as much as you see in the video right now. And then I stirred it until the dye completely dissolved into the melted wax. I kept track of the temperature, and when it reached around 140 degrees Fahrenheit or around 60 degrees Celsius, I added the essential oils. Again, the instructions don't say how much essential oils you are supposed to add. Unlike with the dye dough, where I could see how colorful the wax would become even at that point where it was melted, with the essential oils is not the same, because once the wax cools down, the scent might be very different, or the strength of the scent might be very different if you haven't added enough essential oils or if you've added too much. So I really wasn't sure how much essential oil I was supposed to add. I started with somewhere around 10 drops, and then I think in some of them I added up to 20 drops. I tried to vary a little bit in order to see the difference, and I definitely feel a difference in the strength of the scent. And I think it really depends on your personal preference, whether you want your candles to be like really strongly scented. Overall, I was a little bit disappointed by that. I would have liked for the information to be given in the instruction manual, booklet, pamphlet, paper thing. And after I stirred it a little bit, I poured the wax into the jar. And it was at this point that I realized that for the very first jar, I had too little wax, so I quickly mixed some more and poured it over it. And then I set it aside to cool down. So that was it for the overall recipe, and now let's see what kind of candles I made. The first candle that I made is a lavender scented candle. I got this color by mixing pink and blue dyes, I think because at that point I had forgotten that I also had purple dye in my set, so I didn't actually get to use that. And I used around 10 drops of lavender essential oil for this candle. and I have to say I think that was too little. The lavender essential oil is generally very strong, but when I smell this candle, I can kind of feel the scent of the wax overpowering the lavender scent, which I don't think should happen. Like, it definitely smells waxy. The second candle that I mixed is the sweet orange candle. I got the orange color by mixing red and yellow dyes, and this time at least it was justified because there was no orange color into the kit already. And again, I used around 10 drops of the sweet orange essential oils. Again, that doesn't seem to have been enough. I can still feel the scent of the wax. I'm not sure if that is okay. I will see what it is like when I light it up. The third candle that I mixed is the peppermint one. And in order to get this color, I used, well, the green that was already in the pack, but I mixed it with a little bit of blue just because I didn't want it to be that simple, and I really like the color that I got. It's minty. I don't know how to describe it. It's perfect, I think. And for this candle, I used considerably more essential oils. I used somewhere between 15 and 20 drops of essential oil. And this candle actually smells much stronger. I can definitely tell the difference, and I don't feel the smell of wax at all. So I think that that's how it's actually supposed to be. Now, the last essential oil in the kit is the tea tree essential oil, and I wasn't very excited to use that in a candle. So I decided to use an essential oil that I already had from this set from Woolsey's. I think that's the name of the brand. It's the Romance Collection set of 4 essential oils, and I decided to use the one called Love Potion, which is a mix of jasmine, neroli, rose, white lotus, and vetiver oils. I'm guessing these are all flowers. I don't know what neroli is or vetiver. If they're not flowers, feel free to comment in the comment section below and let me know what those are. I will go ahead and assume they're all flowers. So that is the scent that I used for my 4th candle, and I decided to go with the simple pink color for it. And again, I used a good amount of essential oil, 15 to 20 drops, and the scent is very potent and really sweet and flowery, and I'm so excited to use this candle. But that is not all. Of course, I had to be extra and make another candle all by myself into a bigger jar, because I mean, I like the little ones. They're really cute. They're really adorable. They're really... insert other adjectives here, but I wanted a bigger candle that I somehow failed to make good use of because I only filled it halfway through. And with this candle, I actually made another mistake, which is that I decided to use some leftover candle wax from another batch, actually from the first candle that I ever made more than half a year ago. And I think that those were 2 different types of waxes. The one that comes in the kit is a soy wax, and I think that the one that I had before is beeswax, and they have different melting points. I didn't know that. It's kind of obvious now that I think about it, but at the time when I mixed them and melted them together, I didn't realize it, and then they started hardening at different times, so parts of the candle started hardening faster than other parts, and it ended up having this like choppy look on the top, which I think will actually go away when I light up the candle and it starts melting uniformly on the top. That might solve the problem. But hey, we live and we learn, right? Now, in order to obtain this beautiful deep pink kind of a color, I mixed red and purple dyes. I had a different color in mind when I mixed red and purple. I didn't think it will come out this pink, but it's actually very nice. I really like it. And for the scent, I used another essential oil from the Romance collection, namely Passion, which has a combination of rose, geranium, jasmine, clary sage, and vetiver oils. Again, I'm gonna assume that they're all plants or flowers of some sort. And I don't have a cap for this, so actually for the past few days this candle has been scenting my living room even without having lit it up. And it smells so nice. Again, it's very flowery, very sweet. I really like it so much. But I think that we have talked enough about these candles. Let's actually light them up. I'm gonna start with this one because this is the one that I am most excited about right now scent-wise. So this is the one called Passion with the flower mixed scent. And I'm also curious to see if after lighting it up and letting it melt a little bit on the surface, if it's gonna even up. The wax started to melt. And I mean, I do feel the scent, but here's the thing. This candle smelled already really strongly just by itself, without being lit up. So I'm not completely sure how the scent will like get into the room. So I guess I'm gonna have to take a little break, come back in like 20 minutes or so, and I will let you know if it actually scented my room. But so far it works just nice. It also burns much slower than I thought it would. Like, it's been a while since I lit it up, and there's only like a small circle around the wick of melted wax. So I don't think my plan of lighting it up so that it would even out the wax will work. But I don't know, I mean, I kind of like it, you know, it's a candle with personality. And now let's try out the second one, this lavender one. And I want to try this one because being the first candle that I made, I'm not sure that the scent will be just right because I didn't use a lot of essential oil, and also because even now I can still feel the scent of the wax over the scent of the oil, the candle itself. So I'm curious to see how it turns out, and here we go. As for the lavender one, I don't think this one will like smell strongly enough. I lit it up, the wax is already melting, and I'm not really feeling the lavender scent. And I mean, the lavender scent is supposed to be strong. So yeah, definitely should have used more essential oil, that's for sure. That was it for my scented candles, and this time colorful candles experiment. It turned out much better than last time. I think that these candles will look so nice. I can't wait to just like light them up, and I am so excited to use them. I'm so happy that I made them myself. Let me know what you thought of my candle making technique. Well, it's not really mine, I actually followed the instructions. Don't forget that next time we will be making, I'm actually not sure yet, either soap or bath bombs. One of them is coming though. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss out that video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!